Glenn inched forward, closer to the fire, and grabbed the rescue handle with both hands. More red lights showed on his helmet display. A squirt of warm water came from his drinking tube. The heat was beginning to affect his own life support. A sharp tug got the pilot away from the invisible flame. Free of restriction, Rick turned over and started to crawl out from under the wreckage. "Mission Control, Rick is loose. He's climbing out."
"MMO, Flight, I told you to get out of there. I don't want to risk both of you, especially not the chief medical officer for the mission."
"Flight, you assholes knew this was happening. I told you that his vitals indicated he was in trouble, and you told me, and I quote, 'Stay in my lane.' If Rick dies, it's on you. If I die, I'm coming back to haunt you and make sure you never get another night's sleep. Now shut the hell up and let me do my job." Rick rapped on Glenn's helmet as he crawled past. The frame shifted as he passed, and Glenn could feel additional pressure on his back. To get himself out from under it, he'd have to flip over and scoot out on his back. The air in his suit had gotten warm. He nudged the airflow valve with his chin and was rewarded with even warmer air. It tasted strange, too. Sort of sickly sweet. "Crap! The coolant system ruptured. That's propylene glycol!" He noticed how raspy his voice had become when he next activated the comm.
"Mission Control, it may have been foolish, but Rick's out. I'm starting my extraction now. Wish me luck."
Glenn turned over on his back and reached up to shift the frame out of his way. A white glow enveloped his left arm. Someone screamed over the comm. As he gasped for breath, he realized it came from him. He scooted on his butt, half crawling, half dragging himself out from under the wreckage by pulling with his legs and right arm. He needed to let go of the spar he was holding with his left hand. He tried and heard a new alarm. Suit integrity. The fabric of the suit had melted onto the hot metal. Pulling his hand away had torn it open. "At least the temperature is dropping." There was a boulder directly ahead. Part of the frame was resting on it, and there was just enough gap for him to roll over and crawl out. More red lights appeared on his display, and he heard an ominous cracking and popping from behind him, just before his oxygen tank blew up and drove him feet first into the boulder. Part 1. Resurrection. Chapter 1. The Moon and the Desert. George J. at Spacefan. Any news on the astronaut injured on the moon? USSF Public Information Office at Space Force Official. At Spacefan. U.S. Space Force is unable to comment at this time. Please see our website for the latest news and exciting opportunities in the Space Force. Chirp Chat, January 2039. Glenn Armstrong Shepard drifted in and out of consciousness. He really had no way of knowing if he was dreaming or actually seeing and hearing his surroundings. He saw white walls, white ceiling, people moving around him, all in white. There was a strange lack of depth to it all. The next moment, he was watching the Dragonfly crash. The trainer reminded him of a Wright Flyer, a biplane with a fuselage of tubing and wire, just longer, with wings 3 times the size of the Earthbound original and reaction control rockets for training on the moon. This one had to be a dream. He was the pilot. He watched himself struggling to control the unstable trainer. The right wing of the Dragonfly began to lift, so he corrected the tilt by firing the control thruster on the left wing. The burn was too long. Instead of coming level, the left wing rose even higher than the right had. The nose was starting to lift as well. It was surreal how he was both watching the imminent crash and part of it at the same time. He vaguely heard Mission Control telling him to stay in his lane. "He's going to lose it," he heard himself say into the dedicated channel to Mission Control. "How the hell is he supposed to fly this in Mars's atmosphere if he can't hold it steady in a vacuum with half the G's?" "Pilot, you need to eject," he heard his own voice coming over the comm.
"I can control,"